everyone, welcome to the University of Minnesota and the College of Liberal Arts. I'm Taylor and I'm a senior majoring in political science with a minor in history.
And I'm Shanice. I'm a junior and a transfer student here at the U with a double major in arts and communication studies.
And I'm Felicia, a senior majoring in English. Nice to have you here. This part of the online checklist is here to help explain all the different requirements that make up a University of Minnesota degree within the College of Liberal Arts, or CLA. You can read through the different categories on this page and ask your advisor questions about them during orientation. That's what orientation is for. But we thought it would be more interesting to talk to you from a student's perspective about why these liberal ed courses, or LibEds, are not just requirements, but great opportunities. The beauty of this is that you can choose these liberal ed courses for yourself. There aren't specific required courses that everyone must take, like in high school. There are so many options for each category, so you get the freedom to choose ones that you like the best, or that can relate to your areas of interest or a future career. For example, to fulfill a physical science lib ed requirement, you can take a more traditional chemistry or physics class, or I personally chose to try something new and take Earth and its environments, where we learned about earthquakes, volcanoes, and tsunamis. There's even a course called Geology and Cinema, where you watch Hollywood films with natural disasters in them and determine if the movie depiction is realistic or not. You can take a more standard world or U.S. history course for the historical perspectives lib ed requirement, or you can study the history of architecture, archaeology, or pop culture and politics. We have classes on the history of rock and roll, history of family, and history of food and drink. So there really is something for everyone. Pick something that excites you. When else will you get to study one of these fun areas and fulfill graduation requirements at the same time?
It's great that liberal ed courses can actually count for multiple areas. One course can fulfill more than one liberal education requirement and count for your major, minor, or graduate school prerequisite. For me, one of these examples was Art of India. I really enjoyed it because it gave me a unique perspective on a topic and culture that I'd never really explored before. I also loved that it counted for 2 liberal education requirements and was part of my major. If you aren't yet sure of a major, exploring these courses is a fantastic way to try out some different departments while still fulfilling requirements for graduation. That happened for me. I took a media and communications course and I loved it so much that I decided to make it my major. You can also just choose liberal education courses based purely on your interests and passions. I have a friend who was in a lot of plays in high school, but wasn't going to major or minor in theater here. However, he chose to take a theater class to fulfill a liberal education requirement and loved it. It allowed him to continue with something that had really been an interest his whole life. As a part of that class, they went off campus together to see different plays in the Twin Cities area, which sounded awesome. I also have a class this semester that goes off campus. It's a service learning course, so we spend class time each week volunteering in the community.
You may choose to take a liberal education class not for your major, but for something that will help support your future career. For example, for my mathematical thinking requirement, I chose to take Philosophy 1001, Intro to Logic. Because I'm going to law school, I chose this class not only because it covered a lib ed, but it also helped me with preparation for the LSAT, which is the test that you have to take to get into law school. The second language requirement is also another important part of your degree. It's a great way to learn something that could be useful in your future career, to explore another culture and people, or just broaden your ways of thinking. There are so many languages to choose from, some I had never even heard of before. I have a friend who studies Japanese, one who took American Sign Language, and another who took Spanish in high school, but here she just started taking Ojibwe. I chose to take German for my second language requirement because of my interest in European history and politics. Because of these interests, I then decided to study abroad in Warsaw, and I started learning Polish there too. So your second language requirement can be connected with really amazing study abroad opportunities as well. I definitely encourage you to study abroad if you can.
Overall, we find that students who are really thoughtful with choosing interesting courses that apply to them get so much more out of them. Instead of just feeling like they're checking off boxes to meet graduation requirements, they're taking advantage of the opportunity to explore different fields. And that's why you're here, to stretch yourself and get exposure to ideas that maybe you've never even known of before. For all these reasons, we think these requirements are such an important and exciting part of your degree here at the University of Minnesota.
Also, remember that at summer orientation, you'll get to meet one-on-one with your advisor to talk about all of these options and learn about other registration tools as well. Advisors are great and are there to help you throughout your career at the U, from now until you walk across the stage at graduation.
And don't worry, you definitely don't have to remember all these details now. We know there's a lot to take in. Just be sure you know to ask for help whenever you need it and take advantage of all the resources the U has to offer. We're all here for you. So thanks for listening and welcome to the U. We'll see you around campus.